All right, YouTube, this is the Great Simulator. Today is Saturday, May 8th. I'm sitting here in Davenport, Iowa for probably a couple hours. Then I'm going to be headed to Detroit, Michigan. Cannot wait to get out of Iowa and get into some familiar territory. But anyway, the topic of today's video, as you see from the title, is simple. Am I ready to love again? Now, I do have, there are people that I talk to outside of, YouTube, whether that's through Facebook, Discord, whatever, that may know of my situation in more detail. But pretty much, long story short, me and my wife, we are separating. And, we are, filing for divorce. Now, before people start dissecting and trying to figure out what went wrong, who did who wrong, the whole 9 yards, let me say this, get it out in the open. First and foremost, I love my wife. Now, I call her my wife because technically we're still married, and I will respect her as that, and I will respect her as my wife still. So, with that being said, I still love my wife. I have love for her, and, I care for her. I love her just as much as I love my daughter. We share a daughter together. She's biologically not mine, but she will always be mine. I cut her cord for birth. I'm the man she knows. I love her. I respect her like I respect her mom. And we've been together for 12 years, on and off. We've been married for about 4, and we've been through a lot of things together. We went through a lot of good times. We went through a lot of bad times, a lot of, arguing, what have you. We went through a lot of different situations in life. There were a lot of things that we experienced together for the first time. I got to learn her as much as I would like to think I did. And she got to, know me as much as she thought she could. And, I got to know, people in her family, some people that I have really good relationships with. And, all of that in the 12 years, regardless of whether if it was, 10% negative or 80% negative, I don't regret it. Because when you spend that much time with someone, you figure I'm 36 years old now, 12 years of my life, that's a third of my life that I spent with one person, on and off. But again, it's a third of my life I spent with one person. And that is a lot of time to just be like, hey, again, regardless of if it was 10% negative or 80% negative, that's a lot of time to just be like, hey, screw that person, whatever with them. I don't care what happens to them. I can't say that because at the end of the day, like I said, I still care for my wife. I still love my wife. And until those papers are signed, she will be my wife. I will respect her for that. And, I love everything about her. She is a very ambitious woman. She has a lot of talents. I just believe that I hindered a lot of those talents from coming out. And I can admit that, and I believe if you truly, truly love someone, I believe that if you see that they are being hindered with your presence, that is best to let them go. If you truly want to see happiness from them, and you are almost the reason why it's not happening, then it's best to let them be and let them find their happiness. Now, I didn't see that while I was in a relationship. I didn't understand that. But now that I'm apart and I'm out here on this road, I got time to think in silence without people interrupting me, I do realize that, hey, maybe I was the one that's holding her back from achieving greatness, and it's hard to walk away from something you've known for 12 years, but I find greater happiness knowing that, that she's free, that she's able to do what she wants, she's able to find her happiness, and I hope that she does, and I hope that she finds everything that she wants. I hope that one day she finds somebody that will embrace her, that will treat her the way that she deserves to be, and then I hope I find my happiness. It starts off with being out here on this road every day, traveling to new places, traveling to familiar places. It takes me getting my own apartment, my happiness, being able to stream without interruption. I mean, I don't mind that, but being able to do that, just being able to do different things. My credit score is going up. It done went up so far, maybe 50 points in the last 6 months. And it's just steadily going up. So it's different little things like that. But again, I don't regret anything that's happened. But do I believe that I am ready to love again? I would like to say that I am. And I say that because there was a better part of our relationship where we were nothing but like roommates, and now I can admit that. Back then it was hard for me to admit that. It was hard for me to accept that, and like I said, that's not taking anything back from my wife, because again, I love her and I can't stress that enough. But I do realize that the affection just wasn't there, and I realized that, and so to some people, you may not feel like you're even in a relationship anymore. And so now that, again, I'm on the road and I'm thinking a lot, I respect everything she says now. I understand, it makes sense now. But I believe I'm also in the process of finding myself, finding what truly makes me happy, and that's the most important thing, is finding something that truly makes you happy. And now with me being on the road, and that truly makes me happy, because anybody that knows me knows that I love to travel. If I could travel 24/7, I would buy me an RV and let go of my apartment and just travel the world, if I had it like that. But this would do for now, and this truly makes me happy. So with that being said, and knowing that this makes me happy, whoever I may end up with, I don't know what the future holds. Who's to say me and my wife might get back together? We might not, but whoever I end up with, would have to accept my happiness. And with that being said, they would have to accept my lifestyle, that this is what I do. I'm out on the road 2-3 weeks at a time. I'm home for 4 to 8 days a month, and the difference between back then and now is that now I will not give up my happiness to be with someone. So, I will not give up this job that I love doing, that makes me happy, that I can find peace within, in order to be with somebody. So whoever comes my way, or whoever I decide to approach, will have to accept that about me. That's one of the first things you're going to know up front, is that, hey, I'm an over-the-road driver. I'm gone from home for 2-3 weeks at a time. Hopefully you can accept that. If not, sorry, but I this is making me happy, and there are people all the time that will sit here and be like, oh, I could accept that. I don't see the issue in that. But then the problem is that, it might be okay at first when I'm gone for the first 2-3 weeks and then I come home. But then when I start doing that repeatedly, then it becomes a problem for some, especially when the holidays come. July 4th might come and I might be way in Phoenix, Arizona, stuck. Can't be home for the holidays. Eventually that settles in, and then a lot of people just start being like, you know what? I don't know if I could do that, you know, being a trucker's wife or a trucker's girlfriend, you know, being gone, you know, you being gone for that long, because again, the affection, the intimacy, none of that will be there. You know, you figure 80% of the time you're on the road, 20% of the time you're at home, you know, but this is my happiness, and I would have to hope that someone would be able to accept that happiness. Now, again, I believe I'm ready for that, because there's a lot of things that I've learned in the 12 years as far as anything, situations, whatever, that I've learned to not do again, you know, because had I done things right then, we wouldn't even be having this conversation in the first place. So, you know, I do truly believe, before I end this video, because I do have to get ready to get this load that goes to Detroit, Michigan. If you truly love somebody and you see some type of hindrance there in your relationship, friendship, whatever, it's best to let them go and let them find their own peace, let them achieve their goals, and maybe you can find your happiness. But until next time, folks, this is the Great Simulator. You know, manifest positivity. If you manifest positive vibes, I guarantee you will see change in your life. And until next time, take care.